come on in, pull up a chair, and take a load off, because today I will be unboxing and taking a first look at Battle of the Bulge 1944 from Worthington Publishing. And we'll dive in right after this. Howdy, 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 gang. Welcome once again to the Duct Tape Studios. I'm Jeff McAleer, your host here at the Gaming Gang channel. As I mentioned in the open, I am going to be unboxing and taking a first look at Battle of the Bulge 1944 from Worthington Publishing. It's designed by Dan Fournie with artwork provided by Sean Cooke. The game is for 2 players, ages 14 and up, plays in around 2 hours or more, and does carry an MSRP of $70. This is available right now, and the fine folks over at Worthington Publishing were kind enough to send me this review copy of 1944. Of course, can't do a review, haven't opened up the box yet, but we are going to take a quick peek here. Let me get the shrink wrap off. I know I joke all the time that the last thing we need is another Battle of the Bulge game. But I should point out that we can always do with another good Battle of the Bulge game. And this is a little bit lower complexity, and I believe this game plays rather quickly. So we're going to take a look at the back here of the box. I'm not going to read everything, but just kind of give you an idea. Should point out, this box has some good heft to it. So I can tell you right now, we're going to have a mounted board, and there's probably some counter sheets as well. So start off here. It says, one of the greatest battles in World War II history, designed by Dan Fournie and using concepts from Worthington's Hold Fast series. This fast-playing Bulge game will give you hours of gameplay. With fewer than 50 counters per side and short rules, you'll be up and playing in 15 minutes and finishing games in 2 hours or less. Nice. See, I was saying about 2 hours or a little more. Each side receives a set number of resource points to move and have combat. Each move or combat costing a resource point. But you can do these in any order, so attack with an adjacent unit, create a hole, and then race through with another unit, which can then attack. Then move the initial unit that attacked to create the hole. The decisions are yours. All right, let's open this on up and get a look inside. Do want to mention that I've got myself in the little picture-in-picture. So I used to do this all the time, and then I kind of got away from it, and I've had people ask, how come I don't do it? So do want to mention, if you like having me just hanging out in the corner here, please let me know in the comments. And I'm not taking up that much real estate, so I don't think it's that big a problem. So it looks like we've got a score pad. So we've got some sheets for the score pad here. We've got, variable objectives. So we'll take a look at those in a moment. Nice cardstock that these are on. So here are the rules, and they weren't kidding. These are pretty short. What are they, maybe 14 pages? Let's see. 12. I was close. So we've got 2 sets of rules. I've noticed that Worthington will do that from time to time. They'll include 2 rule books if they're shorter rule books. And I think that's very cool, because then each of the players gets their own copy of the rule book. So before you play, you can always say, hey, Bob, Joanne, whoever, here's a copy for yourself. We're going to look at this in just a moment. Let's move that out of the way. Let's take a quick peek through the rules. Let's see what we've got. So we've got some information on the front here. Talking about the game board, unit colors, explanations, the units. Yeah, we've got the NATO iconography. I know it's a little too old school for my taste. One of the things I point out all the time is that if wargamers, people who enjoy conflict simulations, are looking to bring younger blood, I guess we could say, into the hobby, we have to make things a little more visually appealing. They've got to have a little more pop. So one thing that I will point out from my understanding is that the rules will be the big selling point for Battle of the Bulge 1944, not necessarily the counter graphics. As we can see, this is looks pretty standard, old school, probably attack, defense, movement. Of course, I might be completely wrong. So we've got air units, we've got leaders, we've got different markers, German control markers, setup, sequence of play, resource points, about movement, combat. So we do have zones of control, I see. We have some custom dice, it appears. Let me pull that down. We'll get to see the dice anyway, but that looks kind of interesting. Talking about special units, victory, end of game victory conditions, terrain effects chart, optional rules for variable weather, German fuel shortage, alternate units, hidden markers, phantom markers, variable objectives. That seems pretty interesting. I like that. That seems to me like that'll throw some wrinkles into the game itself. And then we've got some movement and attack examples here. Cool. Very cool. Like I said, 12 pages. So pretty easy to get yourself dug in. I know on the box it said, hey, get started in about 15 minutes. I don't know if you could read all that in 15 minutes and comprehend it, but you can do it pretty quickly. So there we've got the 2 rule books. Let's see what else we've got inside the box here. So we've got starting units. So we've got the order of battle for the Allies as well as for the Germans. Of course, these are just, I'm going to guess it's only single-sided, right? No, look at that. Oh, that's nice. So it's actually showing you the exact layout of where the units are going to start. Cool. I like that. That is actually pretty cool. See? I always shoot my mouth off and, oh, yeah, I'm probably only going to be single-sided here. And then that is not the case. So essentially, you're going to use this side, get everything started, get everything set up for the start, then flip this on over because this is going to show you when you've got reinforcements coming in and new units coming in. So we've got both of those. All right, so we've got some counter sheets, and they are big, chunky counters. Look at this. All right, so we've got 3 counter sheets. And we'll just take a quick peek at these. I'll zoom in at the end so we can get a better peek at some of this. But just to kind of give you an example here. These look like, what are they, about 3/4 inch? Yeah, about 3/4 inch. So we've got the Allies. And then we've got the Germans. All these are dual-sided, of course. And then we've got some informational markers. The German control in supply. I'll take a guess. We flip it over. It's out of supply. Yep. All right. Nice. Nice, big, chunky counters. Okay, so we've got the board. And the board is, well, it feels like this board is pretty good size. Oh, look at this. We've got a counter tray. That looks like a really nice counter tray. And we've got our dice as well. So let's see if we can pop that on out. Let's take a quick peek at the dice here and the counter tray. Yeah, actually pretty sturdy. I mean, counter trays usually aren't super thick plastic anyway. So it looks as if we're rolling various dice here. Let's open this up. So I'm guessing these are attack dice. So, and once again, I have not obviously read the rules. I don't know. Just opening this box up for the first time. But it is possible that maybe our attack numbers, you're actually rolling that many dice. I wonder if that's it. So we see some of these units are 2s, 3s, 4s. Maybe if you got a 4, you're rolling, and then those are the hits that you'll score depending on what unit you're attacking, or maybe what unit you are. So that's kind of cool. And then we got a 6-sided die. So I will point out that these dice appear to be screened. So they are kind of, I don't know if I'm trying to remember if they consider it silk screened or not, because I think they're laser printed. I think that's what they actually are. I was going to say, how could they be silk screened? You're not using fabric. So we've got a bunch of dice. Oh, we got 10 of these? We do. We've got 10. So we've got the 10 dice. And then a 6-sided die. And the cool counter sheet. And then it looks like this board might be a pretty darn good size. So let's open this up. It's upside down. Let's turn this around. Okay, so I can see that. I'm not going to fit. Actually, it's not upside down. It's both sides face. So I'm not going to be able to get this entire map into one shot. So I'm just going to kind of take a tour of the board. But I do have to say that the hexes are nice and big. Of course, we already saw we've got really chunky counters as well. So I'm kind of taking a little tour around the board here. Then we got a German track turn. So this is the German side of the board. Got a terrain chart. We've got unit step reductions. We do have some charts here out of supply effects as well as resource points. Here's our allied turn track. And we have this track here. This is for our resource points, which goes up to 20. All right, so that is the board. Nice, sturdy board here. Very cool. Very nice. I like that. All right, so let's put that back in. I'm going to zoom in. We're going to take a closer look at the little score pad, the alternate objectives, and we'll take a little closer peek at some of those counters as well. So let me zoom on in. So we have Rundstadt's Plan Martin. So this is German variable objective 2, 6 turns. So I wonder if the German player, if you're using the variable objectives, I wonder if they select it just randomly. I wouldn't be surprised. That'd be kind of cool, right? Hitler's Autumn Mists. So that is 7 turns. Then there's a sudden death victory condition. So it says the sudden death victory condition is the only way to win. The historical operation, which is 10 turns. Germans need 14 victory points. The Allies need the Germans to score 12 or less for a victory. Then we have spoiling attack. This is a 6-turn scenario as well. And looking at it appears that the German player has to occupy 2 of 3 towns. I almost said cities. They're not cities. So here's a little score pad. That's kind of cool. You know, got to admit, I mean, most war games don't have score pads for you. You got to sit there and track everything out. It's kind of cool. Two sides on these as well. All right, let's take a look. I'll show you these counters. And it is nice and thick cardstock as well on these counters. So these are the allies. Looks like we might have. There we go. We were a little out of focus, I think, there for a sec. So kind of show those off. That's what happens when you've got the autofocus. You move something close to the camera, especially this camera. I really do like this camera. It is a Panasonic, but the autofocus leaves a lot to be desired. But it is actually a pretty darn good camera. All right, so we've got that there. These are the informational counters here. There we go. All right, and then we've got the German units, the Axis units, I guess I should say. Cool deal. All right. So we have the counter tray. We've got the dice. We've got the cool mounted board. We have 3 punch boards of counter sheets. We've got the 2 Order of Battle cards, 2 sets of rules, as well as the 4 alternate objectives. I guess it's really 3 because one of them is the historical scenario, as well as the score pad. And that's what we find when we take everything from Battle of the Bulge, 1944, outside the box. Let's swing over to the other camera and I will wrap up. I will do my best to get a review out in the very near future for Battle of the Bulge 1944. I got to admit, some of the more traditional looking Hex and Counter war games are a little tougher for me to get some of the gang to the table to play, especially enough for me to do a comprehensive review. If you are new to the channel, if you're new to following the Gaming Gang, you should know that I play games 3 times before I give them a review, because it's not unusual to be playing something wrong the first time you play. Anyway, once again, do want to point out, Battle of the Bulge 1944 is available right now from Worthington Publishing. It's designed by Dan Fournie with artwork provided by Sean Cooke. It is for 2 players, ages 14 and up, plays in around 2 hours, and does carry an MSRP of $70. I'm going to take a look at the back here. Let's see. Solitaire suitability is kind of low, so keep that in mind. So it really is a 2-player game. All right, that's it for this time out. Once again, I am Jeff McAleer. If you like this video, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already, and if you do, ding that bell. It will not only let you know when I upload videos such as this unboxing, it'll also let you know when my live stream, the Gaming Gang Dispatch, airs Monday through Thursday right here on YouTube, as I bring you the latest in tabletop gaming news. Of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Thank you very much for watching, and as I wrap up all of my videos during this never-ending pandemic, I certainly hope all of you out there are being smart and staying safe. Oh, hey, you're still here. Well, if that's the case, by all means, if you haven't subscribed to the Gaming Gang channel yet, click right here. If you'd like to see the latest episode of the Gaming Gang Dispatch, click right up there. And if you want to trust YouTube's algorithm to give you something to watch, click right there. Once again, thanks so much for watching, and everybody please wear a mask.